Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we are set for another edition of NASCAR 06 Total Team Control on the channel. It is a Do It For Dale Busch Series race today, as it is the third to last race of the season. Race 33 of 35, full season points format. It has come down to the final three races with the two drivers who have dominated the season so far this year. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who of course we're racing as, trying to get his third career NASCAR Busch Series title. And of course Clint Bowyer, who has led in points for almost the entire season. The points lead for Clint Bowyer down to just 87. Dale Jr. at one point was outside the top dozen in points. 459 points out of first after the first dozen races. But what a comeback he has made over these final 22 races leading up into this race today at the Texas Motor Speedway to put himself in position to potentially win that third title. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into today's full race live stream, live commentary, realistic commentary action on the NASCAR video game side of things today. Just commentated yesterday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Darlington, the Southern 500 playoff opener. So that was a lot of exciting action yesterday in the race. Glad everybody came out to watch that race yesterday. We had over 400 people again in the stream by the end of the race. I haven't looked today on exactly where we topped out at, but again, appreciate the support you guys give me on those streams. Greatly appreciate it, and of course tuning in today, because I'm sure those of you that are watching right now can't wait to see what is going to go down in this race. Texas was wild the first time we raced here. There was 13 cautions in the first Texas race for the Busch Series, and I think today's going to be another quite crazy race. Old Spice Speedway just a couple nights ago was a crazy race. I haven't really talked about that at all. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got the win in that race. Clint Bowyer struggled, finished outside the top 10 despite leading some laps early on from the pole. As far as today goes, about to hop into qualifying, no practice. Hopefully we've got the right setup. Ran pretty good here, won the truck race at Texas, and finished 5th in the Cup race. So I do think we're going to have a strong car today. Will it be race winning? Race car, we'll have to wait and see. Wade Selinsky, Joel Fork, Cheyenne, Patrick Shadley, Asai Z, King Diamond, Jeff, Mark DeMars, Wade Selinsky, Corey Free, and others. Thanks for tuning in. And on to qualifying in the Menards number 81 Chevrolet for Dale Earnhardt Jr. My favorite track in the Cup Series, Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol, baby. Concrete Bristol. I like my dirt racing, but I don't like my dirt on Bristol. All about trying to get up to speed. I realized I said you twice after I said you the second time. I was hoping I'd blow over it and nobody would recognize that, but of course you recognized it. I was hoping nobody was going to say anything about it. Alright, Dale Jr. rolls into turns 1 and 2. Pretty solid, at least on the corner entry. First time at speed in this race car for this race weekend in the Busch Series. Gonna have to be on it these final 3 races of the season if he's gonna want to still catch Bowyer. Might need a little bit of help as well. Earnhardt making his way off turn 4. Pretty solid first lap. Might have a shot at the pole on lap 1. Not quite. Third, 29.631. And now into lap 2. Junior a little better through 1 and 2 than what he was that first lap, and he was pretty solid the first lap through that corner. Now into turns 3 and 4. He overdrives the entry just a bit. Slipped up the racetrack. Trying to carry as much speed off the exit of the corner as he can. Trying to chop off in the middle. It's going to be close at the line, but I think lap 1's going to be a bit quicker, and it was. Lap 1 was the quicker of the 2 laps, and it looks like Dale Jr. will be rolling off in the 3rd place position for today's race. And Matt Kenseth will be on the pole. Clint Bowyer will be starting in 6th. So Kenseth trying to go for his 2nd Busch Series win late in the season. He won on the last mile-and-a-half track that the Busch Series was at Charlotte. Gonna mess with the gear ratios a little bit. I want to try to take off a little better on the restarts. I meant to do this before practice. Alright, hopefully I don't want to mess too much with 4th gear. Just going to race 3rd gear up a little bit. Hopefully it gets a better launch. Junior's going to try to get to the lead on the opening start of this race from third. We'll see if he can do it. Noah Hall, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Texas. Dale Jr. with a good launch off the start. That's what he was hoping for out of the gear ratio as he tries to go 3 wide into turn 1. But Matt Kenseth took off even better than Earnhardt. Kenseth got shot out of a cannon into turns 1 and 2. He'll clear the second place car of Brian Vickers by a long shot. Now, he's already 3 car lengths ahead of him down the backstretch into turn 3. Dale Jr. hanging on to third. John Hamilton almost got to the inside of the 81. Good start for Dale Jr. It wasn't bad, but Matt Kenseth just took off a lot better than what I think anybody would have expected him to. And we'll get through the opening lap without a caution. Remember, there was a caution lap 1 in the Cup race, but not lap 1 in this Busch Series race. And Jr. trying to go after Brian Vickers in the 57 car. Putting a lot of pressure on him early. There might have been a stack up off turn 4 without a caution on that first lap, because if you look at the track map on the upper right hand corner of the screen, it is a 6 to 7 car breakaway. There's a giant gap already between probably 7th and 8th. Dale Jr. shaking around all over the front stretch trying to get by Vickers in the 57. 3 Cup Series regulars at the front of the field in the early going. You know how tight it's going to be in the middle of the corners when these guys are side by side. Vickers slowly running down Kenseth after Kenseth's led the first couple laps. Good news is these guys not running for points. Almost contact off turn 4. Junior lifted. He thought Vickers was going to cut down and try to block him. Vickers thought about it. Made a better move and trying not to block. Junior to the inside of Vickers into 1 and 2. Brian Vickers going to give Dale Earnhardt a lot of room on the bottom lane of the racetrack, and Junior's up to second. Yep, it is a holiday today. I started the stream early. I was talking about the stream starting at 4 o'clock last night. For those of you that were in the live stream for the live commentary of the Southern 500. Junior trying to get alongside Matt Kenseth now. That lap a thousandth of a second quicker than what he ran in qualifying. Junior looking low for the lead in turns 1 and 2. Runs up the racetrack, trying to force Kenseth into a mistake. Kenseth in the wall off turn 2, and Earnhardt leads down the backstretch. 4 laps to get to the lead for Dale Jr. And on lap 5, he'll lead and get 5 bonus points. Looks like Clint Boyer's back in the 5th place position right now. 2 field passes again tonight. We'll see how that's going to work out with Truex. I kind of don't want to hold Boyer back as much as I possibly can. I've done it once in each series so far. 87 points is still going to be a tough hole to dig out of without a lot of help. But right now in 5th place is where Boyer's running. If he doesn't lead any laps and Dale Jr. wins and Boyer, say, finishes 5th, Dale Jr. could actually outscore him by about 25 points. So as long as Boyer finishes 1 race outside the top 5, and Jr. gets a max points day in these final 3 races of the season, really 4 when you consider he did at Old Spice Speedway as well, and Dale Jr. will win this title. Bentley Potts, thanks for tuning in. R6, welcome into the stream as well. Dale Jr. looking fast early. .200 lap, 300-mile race. 1 more mile and a half yet on the season at Homestead. That was a deep dive into turn 3 by Dale Jr. Got it to stick on the bottom lane all the way near that white line. Perfect corner. Gapping Kenseth just a little bit more. Fastest lap of the race that time as well with that great corner through 3 and 4 for Earnhardt. 29.579. About half a tenth quicker than where he was in qualifying. I didn't see the pole time Kenseth ran, so I'm not sure exactly what his fastest lap was. Junior getting that track position in the early going. He set the gearing up to try to get to the lead on lap 1, but Matt Kenseth got launched off the start. Junior overrunning 1 and 2 just a bit. Kenseth's going to put a little bit more pressure on Earnhardt off the exit of turn 2, but he wasn't able to get underneath in that time, and Dale Jr. will hold on to the lead into 3 and 4. Seems like Kenseth's been having a hard time trying to run the bottom of the racetrack as well. He's been getting really tight. Went wide again through 3 and 4. Earnhardt has led 6 consecutive laps now, so he's already led more laps than Kenseth, who started on the pole and 2 spots in front of him. Kenseth's lap was a 29.596. Thanks for that. So we have ran a little bit quicker than what he even ran in qualifying already. Bowyer's putting a lot of pressure on John Hamilton and Brian Vickers, though, for 3rd and 4th. Vickers has lost touch from the top 2. Hung in there for about 5 or 6 laps, and that was about it. And he's probably going to get passed by the 2 cars that are right in line behind him because they're likely a bit quicker than the 57 of Vickers. Kenseth again running that outside lane, middle to upper groove at least through turns 1 and 2. I have not posted the streaming schedule for the rest of the week yet. I'm traveling this weekend, so that's why I haven't put it out yet. I'm not exactly sure what time I'm going to start some streams. I think, oh yeah, Kenseth's in the wall on the front stretch. Hit it a couple times. They get really tight. He got the wall off turn 2 earlier when Dale Jr. was passing him for the lead. It looks like John Hamilton is up to 3rd, getting around Brian Vickers. Clint Bowyer still in fifth, trying to get around the 57 car as well. And now Bowyer's down low looking for 4th. "13 cautions in the first race at Texas for the Busch Series this season, and 13 cautions in the last Busch race at Old Spice Speedway on Saturday night. The race took a little over 4 hours. 233 laps on a 1.5 mile road course. This is a 1.5 mile oval, and the race is even shorter than that in actual length, mileage. Dark Crypto, thanks for tuning in. Arm Day, that's the best day of the week. Bowyer slips up towards that middle to upper groove in 1 and 2. Getting tight in line behind John Hamilton in 3rd place. Good chance that everybody outside the top 2 in points are going to be mathematically eliminated following this race today. Dale Jr. not really feeling much pressure from the 17 of Kenseth. He hasn't fallen back more than 0.6 of a second off the lead. But he's not all over the back bumper of Dale Jr. on corner entry, where it seems as if he's going to make a late dive into the corner to try and get to the inside of the 81 at the same time. And by the way, I believe Clint Bowyer has gotten around John Hamilton for 3rd. So Bowyer up to P3. At all costs, Dale Jr. has to make sure that Clint Bowyer does not take the lead tonight or in any of these last 3 races. You're going to want to stay out as long as you can on fuel and tires. Or maybe even just pit at the same time as the 2, so that way there's no risk of him potentially gaining a whole lot of time on fresher tires and cycle out after pit stops in front of you if you're Dale Jr. It's going to be a lot harder for Jr. to pit before Bowyer, with Bowyer being behind him. Jr. with a big block on the backstretch on Matt Kenseth, but he's going to be clear down into turns 3 and 4. slid up just a little bit in the middle of the corner, got back into the gas a hair too soon. And Matt Kenseth in the 17 car about got underneath him. 20 laps complete. Dale Jr. has led all but the first 4. Tell you what, though, we're going to have some tight points battles across all 3 series we're running in this game when we go to Homestead for the season finales. And they're all shaping up to be really good. Even in this day and age of NASCAR, it was very rare that all 3 series had tight points battles going into the final race of the season, but we are going to have that. NASCAR 05, we never really had that. All 3 series were really close. I think only twice I even went into Homestead, or the final race of the season, whether it was a custom schedule season, without having the championship clinched yet. 4 of the 6 I clinched before the final race. Or I should say of the 8, because we ran the modified series too. We were able to go 8 for 8, winning all the titles. Custom schedule seasons and the regular and actual 2004 schedule for the modifieds, trucks, Busch, and Cup. Don't see a blue 2 car, that means he's out. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's the only good thing with him running near us is we know where he's at. The bad news is he's getting through the field. Remember, he started 6th place, so he's slowly coming for this 81 car. And it definitely looks like it's the Matt Kenseth Dale Jr. show right now, but Clint Boyer may be a bit quicker than both of them. Junior's just hoping the handling of this car is going to last over the long run. That's one thing that has struggled with him on 1.5 miles this season. He has not won on a 1.5 miles in the Busch Series. His only 1.5 mile win in the Cup Series was at Kansas. And my only Truck Series win on a 1.5 miles was at Texas earlier last week. Get good finishes, just can't quite seal the deal at the end. This is looking like a night where Dale Jr. might be able to do so. Definitely feels he's got the race car. Yeah, if there's a DNF out of either Earnhardt or Boyer at this point in the season, with both of the drivers being a lot tighter in points now. I mean, when was the last time Boyer had a points lead that was less than 100? That's something I might have to go back and check after the stream's over, because I have no clue. It's been a really long time since anybody's been within striking distance of taking the points lead away from the 2. 19 wins apiece between the 81 and the 2 this season. 11 for Earnhardt, 8 for Boyer. And they're running 1st and 3rd in the early going of this race today. Of the 11 wins, 6 of them, Clint Boyer has finished in 2nd place right behind Dale Jr. Jr. had to broke the throttle just a little bit off turn 2. He's starting to get a bit tight as the run carries on. From middle to exit of the corner. Caution's out, though, for the first time today at lap 28. So we have reached our first yellow. Problems in turns 1 and 2 for the 119. Backs it. Oh, man. 152 flip after that. He came back down the track right in front of the 152. I don't know if he flipped or not, but he was all over the place. A couple other cars got stacked up further behind. Pretty violent crash. Dale Jr. is going to pit from the lead. We'll see if anybody else is going to follow. And they will. About 28 laps on these guys' tires. 4 tires of fuel for Earnhardt. No adjustments during the first stop of the day. Car's flawless so far. I was expecting guys would pit. I was assuming it's going to be a 3-stop race, so that'll just be the short run of the race then, rather than at the end. That's our first caution at the Texas Motor Speedway. We got 12 more to go to catch the last race we ran as well as the race before that. Brian Vickers, oh Jesus, Kenseth just getting booted. Lost a couple spots there off of pit road. Fast stop though for the 57 of Brian Vickers as he gains, it looked like 4 spots. I think he was in 5th. Wins the race off pit road. He had that number 1 pit box and that helped him. Green flag back in the air. Matt Kenseth lost a couple spots on pit road. Dale Jr. loses 3. Kenseth loses 3. Boyer in 2nd. And Dale Jr. did not take off that well on that restart that time compared to the initial start earlier on in the day. Didn't lose any spots. Top 3 get away just a bit. And Boyer's looking for the lead on the inside into turns 3 and 4. Jr. going to overdrive turns 3 and 4 just a bit. Kenseth to the inside. He'll make the pass on the 81. Boyer still in 2nd. Carl Edwards is up to 3rd now. 133 car gets into the wall. And Martin Truex Jr. is up a spot. 133 hits the wall again into turns 1 and 2. And they're almost 3 wide back there. Boyer to the lead off the exit of turn 2. He's going to take it away from the 57 of Vickers. Way down to the inside goes Dale Jr. trying to get around Matt Kenseth who was blocking him. Not going to be able to make the pass. Caution. Off turn 4, back in the pack, 2nd of the race. Big stack up. Oh, man, it looked like they were 3 wide. Oh, and he came back across the field, didn't he? Oh, both of them did. Oh, my goodness. Both the fantasy cars that spun off the exit of turn 4 getting contact was they were 3 wide, came back across the field. Middle of the front stretch, more cars collected, and we've got a repeat of the first Texas race all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen. Caution's out. Boyer hasn't led a green flag lap yet, but he'll lead a couple laps under the yellow, and now it's going to be 5 bonus points for Boyer. That was not a great stop with Earnhardt losing 3, and obviously Kenseth got around him on that restart as well. Green flag back in the air at Texas. I think I went the wrong way with the gearing. It took off on the initial start, but the restarts single file. Dale Jr. is not taking off well at all. He's not losing spots, but the top cars in front of him just keep pulling away. Boyer is going to get weeded out of line, though, and he's stuck on the outside in turns 3 and 4. Brian Vickers will take his first lead of the day, and Edwards looking for 2nd. Oh, Kenseth got the wall off the exit of turn 4. He's still against the wall on the outside of the racetrack. Dale Jr. is going to catch him into turn 1 and make the pass for 4th. Boyer back to P3 as Edwards is up to 2nd. Vickers leading his first lap of the day. We have now had already 5 different leaders. 4 different leaders, rather. About to be 5 if Edwards can get to the lead. But Edwards is going to lose the bottom of the track in 3 and 4 now, and Clint Boyer is going to move up to 2nd. Boyer didn't lead a green flag lap, but he was able to get a lap led in under caution, a few of them, in fact. Junior still led the most so far, as he's led about 22 laps. Truex slowly working his way through the field in the 6th place position, right behind Matt Kenseth. Actually looks like he's lost some spots on that last restart. Good battle for 2nd going on between Carl Edwards and Clint Boyer. They keep going back and forth. Edwards clear for P2. They continue to battle. Dale Jr. is going to continue to close. First time Jr.'s really been in traffic today. Now Edwards going wide. Whoever that 2nd place car is can't hold the bottom. Through turns 3 and 4. Edwards does hold on to 2nd that time. Fastest lap of the day already for Dale Jr. 29.568 that last time. Got to run off the exit of turn 2. He's going to look low, back straightaway. And the 2 of Clint Boyer going down, trying to block him. Boyer up the racetrack. He's in the wall. Boyer in the wall as he overruns the corner. Dale Jr. to the inside. Clears him. Big pass for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And a big mistake from Clint Boyer overrunning the entry to turn 3, trying to block Earnhardt. Deep into the corner, it costed him. Kenseth is also going to get around Boyer. Boyer back to 5th after restarting in the lead. Wasn't as hard of a hit into the wall as Kenseth has taken a couple times already today, but it was enough to lose him a couple more positions. Faster lap that time by for Dale Jr. 29.564. Edwards getting tight in line right behind the 57 of Vickers. There are so many Cup regulars at the front of the field. Outside of Boyer, all Cup regulars in the top 5 right now. Oscar Ramirez Herrera, thanks for tuning in. Edwards may have grazed the wall up of turn 4. If not, he was very close. 29.532 that last lap. Dale Jr. putting together some great laps, trying to run down the 60 and the 57 of Vickers and Edwards in front of him. Great corner through turns 1 and 2. Earl Arnold Jr., thanks for tuning in also. Jr. looking low. If Edwards moves up the track again, he's going to be in that hot pursuit to get around the 60. Couldn't quite get off turn 4 that well. Edwards gets the acceleration. Edwards with a pretty big run on the back of Vickers right now. Into turns 1 and 2, nowhere to go. Vickers with a wide entry. The 60 of Edwards kind of had the same thing going for him. Dale Jr. is down low, though, off turn 2 and looking for second. Into 3 and 4. All clear. Big run for Earnhardt. Vickers throwing a couple blocks. Trying to hang on. Junior looking low. Back straightaway. Massive run. Brian Vickers in the 57. Drives it in deep. Holds on to it. Junior going to try to run him down again. Didn't lose too much time. Trying to force Vickers into a mistake like he did with Boyer moments ago. Trying to get to the most laps led, of course, as well. It's a big run. Another big block coming from the 57. Up the track he goes. He's in the wall. Vickers is still in the wall. Junior to the lead. He forced him into a mistake. Edwards up to second. Vickers back to third. And Earnhardt leads again at Texas. William Windex, thanks for tuning in. It has been an eventful race so far. Couple early cautions. Middle to the back of the pack. Decent sized wrecks as far as the car count in their accidents. Good battling on the racetrack. And Dale Jr. back in the lead. Good points battle between Earnhardt and Boyer. Everything's going on well in this race so far from the entertainment factor, and we're only a quarter of the way home. Lap 50 of 200. Junior going up the hill a little bit. Carl Edwards to the inside. Junior trying to shut the door. Now he'll throw the block down on the bottom of the track. Oh, and Edwards goes wide. He's in the wall now. He overruns the corner trying to get around the 81 of Earnhardt. Vickers back to second. Edwards going to slide in line in front of his teammate Kenseth. 4-car breakaway at the front of the field, but the way they're racing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Boyer catches up anytime soon. All these guys are running terrible laps. Oh my goodness. Junior's probably been the cleanest of them, and that's probably why he's leading. Edwards loses the bottom. Kenseth underneath him for third. Junior's led the most laps in the early going so far. He needs to keep that going for him. Keep this track position. Kenseth all clear for third. Edwards pulling out of line on the back straightaway, trying to pull the crossover move off. So he looks to the inside and turns 3 and 4. Kenseth shuts the door on him. Oh man, there's a lot of smoke off turn 4. There might have been a near wreck towards the middle of the back of the pack again. No caution came out for it. We continue to stay green. You really look at the track map on the upper right-hand corner of the screen and see how far apart a lot of those guys are spaced out right now. We'll take our first field pass of the race this time by. We'll drive as Martin Truex Jr. in the 8. We'll see where he's at in the field.
Okay, buddy, let's do it.
And as of right now, he is in 8th.
You're about 3 seconds behind the leader.
Right behind the 23 of Kenny Wallace. Boyer's still in 4th. Truex looking low for 7th on the backstretch. Didn't get enough of a run off turn 2. Gotta be careful. Truex just clipped the apron, hangs onto it. Just a bit loose, had to hop out of the throttle. Killing the momentum. Deep dive into 1 and 2, trying to get to the inside of Kenny Wallace, who left a lot of the bottom open. And Martin Truex Jr. will pass the 22 car of Kenny Wallace for 7th. Brian Vickers back to the lead at the front of the field. Dale Jr. starting to fall back just a bit. Billy Carjoy, thanks for tuning in. And we go back to Earnhardt at the front. Edwards now underneath Vickers. These guys are still going at it. Somebody takes the lead, and then we've got other cars taking it away from them immediately after the fact. Junior seems to hold on to the lead a lot more when he gets out in front. But now Carl Edwards is the leader. Top 4 under a blanket, all within 0.2 of a second of the lead. Junior's got a pretty big run. On the 17 of Matt Kenseth. But Kenseth still holds on to 3rd. Vickers going just a bit wide. Surprised these guys are as far ahead of the pack with as much battling as they have had. Really is a testament to how fast their cars are. Kenseth drives it in deep. He's going to get into the wall. We've had a few drivers do that already. Kenseth will be the 3rd. To overdrive turns 3 and 4, put himself in the wall and allow Dale Jr. to make the pass for position. Throwing blocks in which they're clean, but then they enter so flat and so deep into the corner on throttle that they can't get it to stick. They clip the apron, they wash up the track, and into the wall they seem to go. Brian Vickers, Dale Jr. slowly closing back in on the 60 of Carl Edwards once again. .60 laps complete at the line for the number 60, who leads at the Texas Motor Speedway. Earnhardt, oh, he's going to slide. Trying to save it, he does. Oh my goodness, what a save for Dale Jr. Massive save at the front of the field. Caution came out to hold on to 3rd. Green flag back in the air. I mean, he was completely sideways, but by the time he got it corrected again, he came back up the track. Kenseth missed him to the inside. That was not a caution Junior needed, though, because now his tires are probably shot after that big slide. I'm surprised the caution came out because he actually straightened it up pretty quickly. Didn't hit anything, so we'll stay out. Nobody hit us. But unfortunately, Kenseth got back around Dale Jr. on the restart again. Dale Jr. looking low. Boyer losing a couple more spots on the restart. Vickers going for the lead. Oh, contact. Kenseth and Jr. Truex underneath Kenseth as well now for 4th. Truex still has not won a Busch Series race this season. That slide from Earnhardt, by the way, was the third caution of the race. He didn't clip that apron all Cup race long. Never did it in the truck race, but saw it right there in this Busch Series race. That's how perfect you have to be. So easy to lose control of the cars in this game. And Exhibit A, just a few laps ago. Junior's got to get back into it, though. He lost a lot of ground on the restart. That's why it was bad for that caution to come out. Three cautions and 69 laps so far. I thought Vickers was going to get underneath Edwards, and he might have been side by side, but Edwards hangs onto the outside lane pretty well. A couple times when Vickers was lurking to the bottom, and he's able to stay in front of Brian Vickers for now. Dale Jr. closing back in, even with his tires maybe just a bit more worn out. Boyer, after losing at least a couple spots on that restart, is at least back to 6th place. Fastest lap of the day that last time for Junior, 29.495. That is fast in the Busch Series on a mile and a half. Truex is back to 5th. I think Kenseth just passed him back again. I wouldn't want Truex to follow me anyway. Get a car too close behind me, I'll get aero loose, especially with the rear tires worn out after that slide. Junior with a bit of a run. Back straightaway, trying to force Brian Vickers in the 57 into a mistake. No mistake made from Vickers that time. Drove it in deep, got it to stick. Actually closes just a bit on the 60 of Edwards, who was in the lead in front of him. Vickers looking low. A big run for the 57. Down to the inside on the 60 of Carl Edwards. Off the apron. Oh, contact! Oh my goodness, that was a close one. Little bit of contact that time between Carl Edwards and Brian Vickers, but they might have slowed each other up enough that Dale Jr.'s got the big run on the front stretch now. Gets around Edwards, gets to the inside of the 57 of Vickers. He slides up the racetrack, keeps it off of him. Jr. going for the lead. Vickers in the wall. Off turn 2. Edwards back to 2nd. Jr. blocks Edwards on the backstretch into 3 as he leads again for the 3rd different time today at Texas. Kyle the King fan, thanks for tuning in. Kramer, welcome into the stream. I see you in the chat. Gonna alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today. For about half a dozen laps. Just past halfway through the field run right now. Had a couple cautions in the middle of this field run. One immediately after that first restart with the first yellow that came out at lap 28. We saw that slide from Earnhardt. He was able to save it, so didn't have to pit to repair any damage or go to the back of the field, serving a penalty, but he did lose a spot on the restart initially. Oh, contact! Edwards just nudged this 81 into the wall. But somehow, even with the contact, Dale Jr. holds on to the lead. I think it slowed the 60 down just as much. Slowed him up enough, though, that Brian Vickers and Matt Kenseth are starting to close back in again. Junior stays in front of Edwards. Trying to block all over the front stretch. Oh, Edwards is in the wall. Edwards got the wall off turn 4. He'll slide all the way back to 4th and stack up everybody behind Kenseth and Vickers. Down to a 3-car battle for the lead now. It was a 4-car battle for the longest time. I know the 17's got speed. The 57 has made an adjustment during that first stop because he didn't really have the speed at the start of the race. Couldn't keep up with the 17 and the 81. Kenseth down low. And up to second. It looks like Matt Kenseth, although it doesn't at the same time. That might not be Kenseth in second place. Well, whoever it was, they just cracked the wall off turn 4. And they're still against the wall in the front stretch. It's slowing Brian Vickers down, who had to lift. Keep from running into the back of him. Vickers now underneath him 1 and 2 to get back to second. A lot of cars have been getting into the wall today. Junior scraped it once, but that was only because of contact with Edwards off turn 4 a handful of laps ago. Six-tenth of a second lead now for Dale Jr. We'll go back to the far chase cam for now. 1 of 3 pit stops already done for today. 2-stopper to the end. Everybody pitted during the first caution. Nobody pitted during cautions 2 and 3. Ryan Newman. It might be. I haven't been able to see the number yet. Aaron Crocker's got a white card too. In the 6. And right rear starting to wear out on Dale Jr.'s race car in the yellow and the tire wear indicator. No surprise after that slide he had after clipping the apron earlier, but he was able to save it. Trying to keep those rear tires under him as much as possible. Junior got his first Cup and Busch Series wins at Texas. Both in his rookie seasons in those respected series. Trying to win at Texas in the Busch Series again today. They close that gap on Boyer, who has not really struggled today, but he hasn't had the same speed that we've seen out of the guys who have contended and have led laps other than Boyer, like Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards. Even Brian Vickers seems to have more speed than the two of Boyer. Obviously, Dale Jr. does. Seems like Boyer, on speed alone, at best, is probably going to finish about 5th. Truex is going to have the same equipment that Dale Jr. is, considering their teammates, so he might even have a top 5 car over Boyer as well. Mentioned Boyer has to finish one race outside the top 5. If Dale Jr. leads the most laps and wins these last couple races. That's also, though, if Boyer did not lead a lap in any of the last 3 races. He has led laps today under caution. Got to the lead on a restart, and then a caution came out. Lost the lead on the following restart. Vickers back to 3rd again. If I had to guess, probably 2 to 4 laps led for Boyer, but none in the green. The rules are, to get the bonus points, you just got to lead a lap. Doesn't matter whether it's under caution or green flag conditions. Just to put in retrospect, Dale Jr. led 1 lap at Texas the first time we were here earlier this season. And this car today is a lot better than what he had in the spring race. Still one more field pass left in the race as well. Truex having a solid day, so I'm probably not going to have him just try to block Boyer at all. Probably just go outright these final 3 Busch Series races, see if we can just flat out beat Boyer on speed. Hope for the best. Now it's down to double digits. We'll have 2 races to go at Phoenix and Homestead across all 3 series after this race tonight. 19 likes on the stream already, not even halfway home. Greatly appreciate you guys smashing that like button. Be sure to do so if you haven't done so already, and also subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'd imagine we're going to be down to a quarter tank of fuel sometime soon. No chance that these guys are going to make it on one stop. Still over half the race left. They're able to save some fuel over these last couple of cautions, but not that much. Just drive faster than Boyer, simple, yeah. 100% in the driver's aim. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I was expecting that to happen sometime soon. Quarter tank of gas left. Good news is Boyer isn't going to have a shot at leading the most laps today. We've had so many drivers lead already, and all of the drivers who have led more than Boyer. Junior has led the most. Probably toss-up whether Vickers or Kenseth has led the second most. It sounds like we've got some of the leaders pitting. Brian Vickers from 3rd will be the highest running driver in the field to pit that last time. Saw cautions in the middle of green flag stops a lot in the Cup Series race at Texas, so we'll see if that'll be the case in this Busch race as well. Dale Jr.'s managing his gap right now in front of 2nd. I'm thinking it might be Aaron Crocker in 2nd. I don't think it's Newman or Kenseth. A lot more cars into the pits this time by as well. Junior getting every last lap lead he can possibly get. You'll see the point scroll across the top of the screen fairly soon again. 87 points back with 3 to go coming into this race for Earnhardt. He's over 500 points back at one point after a dozen races this season. With a 22 race hot streak, he's only finished outside the top 10 3 times in those 22 races. He's only finished outside the top 10 once in the last 13 races, and that was a 13th place finish at Auto Club. At this time now known as Auto Club Speedway. At this time it was the California Speedway, but needless to say, that's the only finish. So that means he has been in the top 15 or 13th or better in finishes in each of the last 13 races. Trying to make it 14 today at Texas, a track that he did not finish in the top 13 in earlier this season. Running a lot better today, though, at this track. He's got the speed, he's got the handling. Even with that slide, he's still managing his tires fairly well for the most part during this run. A little more pressure on him, though, over these last couple laps. The 2nd place is slowly closing in, and it is Aaron Crocker in the 6th. I saw the number now. So Crocker is in 2nd place. Martin Truex Jr. is in the pits now from wherever he was in the top 5. I think he was in 5th when the pit stop started, but I'm not sure. Probably was in 3rd when he just peeled into the pits that last time by. I don't even think Dale Jr.'s had an eighth of a tank of fuel yet. He could still go quite a ways. Probably till at least lap 110. Turner, thanks for tuning in. All 4 tires on the yellow and the tire wear indicator right now for Dale Jr. Second place, Aaron Crocker will come to pit road now off turn 4, so Dale Jr. has less pressure on himself to lead laps until he hits pit road. Him staying out, though, a lot longer than Vickers and Crocker behind him. They'll probably cycle out in front of him whenever Earnhardt decides to pit. He's got a lot of clean air in front and behind. Crocker's had some good runs recently in the Busch Series. If I remember correctly, before Old Spice Speedway, she had back-to-back top 3 finishes, a second and a third, on other mile-and-a-halves at Charlotte and Kansas. So she's looking fast on another mile-and-a-half today at Texas. She's in the top 10 in points for a reason this season. I think she was in 8th coming into the day. Only win still in that season opener at Daytona. At least she did get a win this season. Halfway home at the start-finish line, 100 laps down, 100 to go. Everybody has made their second stop of the day except for Dale Jr. That's why he's a lap ahead of the field. And they'll be making his green flag stop, if I had to imagine, the next 8 to 10 laps. Staying out trying to get as many laps led as possible. I'm going to pause it for a quick second, trying to find that trivia question for you guys tonight. And try to find a Texas track fact. Try to find an Xfinity Series question. He's running this Busch Series race. Alright, let's see here. Getting stumped right now. I'm trying to find a question. Jeez Louise. Well, Kyle Busch is a hot topic in the NASCAR Cup Series this season, so we'll have a little Kyle Busch question for you guys. Kyle Busch has the most Xfinity Series wins at Texas Motor Speedway. The simple question is, how many wins at Texas in the Xfinity Series does Kyle Busch have? That is tonight's trivia question. You can get multiple guesses, but you can't guess in numerical order. He's got a lot. That's crazy. Not 4, not 7. Somebody will get it eventually, so I'm not going to put a deadline to what lap you can guess. Not 8. It's not 20. That was a bold guess. It is not 5. It is not 12. It's not 6. Somebody's going to get it eventually. Mark DeMar's got it. It is 9. Kyle Busch has 9 career Xfinity Series wins at Texas, including 5 Xfinity Series wins at Texas in a row from the 2008 fall race. Then he swept 09 and 2010 in the Xfinity races at Texas, all with Joe Gibbs Racing. He had 1 win there with Hendrick Motorsports as well in the 5 car. Yep, Mark Lamar's got the question correct. Junior maybe not going to be able to go all the way to lap 110. Maybe even 108 would be a stretch. Fuel indicator just hit dark red. No practice, so he hasn't been able to make a green flag pit stop. Oh man, big power slide off turn 2. This car's definitely getting really loose at the end of the run. A couple more laps, Junior will stay out and then he'll pit. Has to make sure he does not speed, can't spin out either. That's going to cost him if he does. He's going to have to make it a clean stop. He's going to stay out this time by. The plan will be to pit at lap 106. So Dale Jr. will pit at lap 106. So get him a lap lead this time by, and then he'll lead the following lap on pit road. And we'll see where he'll cycle out, because I doubt it's going to be the lead anymore. I had to imagine at least 3rd place is where he'd cycle out. Long ways to go, though, to still play catch up, and still 1 more pit stop left to the end as well. He's got nobody directly behind him or in front of him. He's going to use all the racetrack necessary, trying to get to pit road as fast as he can and as efficiently as he can. Didn't have to lock the tires up. Great job on pit road entry that time for Dale Jr. 4 tires of fuel, no adjustments for the 81. That was the benefit to not having anybody around him. Didn't he get his 99th Xfinity win at Texas? I believe so. It was 2021. That was the last time he won there. Spring race. Yeah, he's got a lot of wins at Texas. I saw the 5 in a row, and I was like, man, that's ridiculous. So it looks like Aaron Crocker's going to take over the race lead, which I expected. Dale Jr. is going to cycle all the way back to 7th. Still trying to get up to speed on the front stretch right now. Boyer's going to get around him. Squeezes the 57 of Vickers, trying to side draft him, making sure Vickers doesn't get by as well. And Dale Jr. will be in 8th place, cycling out of the pits. Aaron Crocker leads for the first time today. Clint Boyer in the 2, going down the racetrack right now. Oh, he takes out Truex. Oh, up and over goes both the 2 and the 8. Caution's going to come out. Major championship implications at Texas. Oh, my goodness. Both cars went upside down in turns 3 and 4. Boyer overruns the corner into Martin Truex Jr. Both cars get slammed by oncoming traffic. A major hit to the championship implications for Clint Boyer. Unbelievable. Surrey, the Go Animator fan 2K4, thanks for tuning in. A terrible crash that we just saw moments ago. And the points leader, if he's not out of the race, he's got severe damage to his race car. Green flag back in the air. As we have 89 laps to go, Junior up to 6 after the 2 cars in front of him wrecked. You can't tell me that 2 car's still going to be fast the rest of this race. Same goes for Truex in the 8. Crocker holding on to the lead on the restart. She had a pretty good gap over the rest of the field after green flag pit stops, but it looks like Kyle Busch is trying to go for the lead. Kenny Wallace in the 22 down to the inside of Dale Jr. Jr. trying to get a good drive off on the exit of the corner. He'll stay in front of Wallace. Big block down into 3. Jr.'s got to be careful. Clips the apron, washes up the racetrack a bit. Kenny Wallace putting a lot of pressure. One car in the wall, the front stretch up ahead. Jr. kind of got into the wall a bit as well. .48 forgotten. Thanks for tuning in. Send the MTJ to the Texas Memorial Hospital. Yeah, so Kyle Busch leads. He has not won a Busch or Cup race yet on the season. We've had 12 different winners. Fastest lap that last time for Junior, 29.413. So he's trying to play a little bit of catch-up. Matt Kenseth is back into second place. Edwards to third. We know both of those two cars have been very fast. We've got one car slow in the front stretch who has effectively blown an engine. We'll likely see who that driver is on the next lap. Hopefully they can get to pit road without causing an accident. It must have been at the tail of the field because I feel like somebody would have ran into him on the front stretch where there was no apron. Well, caution. Never mind. We won't see who it is. 85 laps to go. Caution's out for the 5th time tonight. Another wreck off turn 4. Bobby Labonte goes around after squeezing the car to his outside into the wall. It looked like the 138 was collected, and then the 138 hit him again on the front stretch as Labonte came back across the racetrack after bouncing into the wall again. Cautions breeding cautions at Texas. Might be Boyer. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Boyer or Truex at DNF, considering the fact that they were in that violent accident. Still outside the field window to make it to the end. We have seen some hard hits in today's race. And now our 6th caution. We had 13 in the spring race. We had 13 in the last race at Old Spice Speedway as well. Busch will lead the field to the green as we're back and running at Texas. Junior's not taking off well in the restarts. I went the wrong way with the gear ratio for the start. I should have made third gear shorter, not longer. And that is effectively hurt Dale Jr.'s restart speeds. He seemingly hangs on to his position, if not loses one spot, so it's not drastically bad. It's been worse on restarts at other tracks this season. Doesn't mean he's been good, though, today. 133 into the wall off turn 4. And still in the wall on the front stretch as the field tries to scatter around him. That's going to stack everybody up into turn 1. There's a massive gap. We'll never know who that car was that blew an engine until the end of this race at lap 115. But if it was Clint Boyer, Dale Jr. just needs to keep the car intact for these final few races and he'll be the champion. Well, he's still going to have to have at least somewhat decent finishes considering he was still 87 back. Almost a 3-wide move down to the bottom off turn 2. Eric Crocker's falling all the way back to 5th. Following Matt Kenseth right now in the 17. I don't know who this other car is up here. It might be Mark Martin in the 9. He'll contact Crocker into the back bumper of Kenseth. Shoves him a bit wide off turn 4. 29.328 that last lap for Earnhardt. Fastest of the race. Bit wide in the dirty air. Kept it off the wall off turn 2. He's pushing hard. Crocker down low. Underneath Kenseth. Can't get around. Into 3 and 4. Mark Martin up on the outside. He's being held up just a bit right now. Crocker clear for 3rd. Blocks Kenseth on the front stretch. Mark Martin's got to run on the 17. Checked up a bit off turn 2. Kenseth back to the inside of the 6 of Crocker again. This guy's stacking up right in front of Dale Jr. He's got nowhere to go. Crocker goes a bit wide that time. Kenseth back to P3. Martin on the inside of the 6. Dale Jr. going to follow Mark Martin. Junior slides up the track a bit, though. Gonna be up to 5th though. She'll be cleared. Crocker back to 6th place again. Junior went very deep into 3 and 4. Got it to stick. Bottom of the racetrack. He's got to run on Martin. All over Martin's back bumper into turns 1 and 2. 3 Roush Fenway Fords right now running towards the front of the field. Martin in the 9 thought about blocking, thought better of it. Junior to the inside in turn 3 underneath the 9 of Martin. Had that massive run on the back stretch. Martin racing clean. Junior up to 4th. Kenseth and Earnhardt seem to be slowly closing in right now on the 60 and the 5. Pulling away from 5th on back. Junior looking low on the front stretch with Kenseth. A little nudge. Earnhardt on the inside into 1 and 2 for 3rd. Clear off the exit of the corner. Kenseth in the wall off turn 2 as well. Got tight after the 81 slid up in front of him. And now Mark Martin's all over the back of the 17 for 4th. Junior needs to get to the front. Trying to pick up as many points on Boyer as possible. He could be out. We know he flipped earlier. If he did blow an engine, it was definitely because of that accident. You'd have to think. Carl Edwards, deep dive into 3 and 4, trying to get around Busch, who's led every lap since the restart. Got around Crocker initially through 1 and 2 as they were getting up to speed. Hasn't looked back. Edwards has won 4 Busch races this year, 6 in the Cup side in his rookie season in the Cup Series. Derek Booth, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Crazy race so far tonight, though, at the Texas Motor Speedway, as I probably expected it was going to be. Major championship drama. Great battles for the lead. Huge crashes. I mean, this race has had everything. 29.313. Fastest lap of the race that last time for Dale Jr. Wonder he's closing in on the top 2 in front of him. Oh, he got loose that time. He was hooked a little too much to the left side of the racetrack there. It pulled him all the way to the left as soon as he clipped the apron. He hung on to it. He didn't really lose too much time, but he did have to hop way out of the throttle. Maybe just digging a little bit too hard. Still 69 laps to go. Just outside the fuel window right now to make it to the end of this race. From what it looks like. Big run for Dale Jr. to the back bumper of the 60 of Carl Edwards. Edwards going way down low. Trying to block. He's going to go up the track. Into the wall goes Edwards. Up to 2nd is Dale Jr. Now Earnhardt has to just get around Busch. Quickly closing in on him. Off of turn 2. Busch is going to try to go low and block now. Junior going to try to force Busch into a mistake. Up the track goes Kyle Busch. He's in the wall. Everybody's making mistakes, and Dale Jr. is going to get to the lead off turn 4. With 67 laps to go at Texas. Busch in the wall off turn 2. Edwards back to 2nd. one more field pass left in this race today. We're going to take it right now. We'll go back to Martin Truex Jr. in the 8. Truex is all over the place. Well, he's in the wall. I have not taken control of him yet. Now I have. He was getting arrow loose. He flipped earlier, so I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of speed. Run a few laps with him, and then we'll go back to Dale Jr. for the rest of the race. He's still in 7th after flipping. I'll give him credit there. Couldn't tell who was behind him that was getting him arrow loose.
Alright, interval between you and the leader is 4.5.
It's 3.1 seconds behind Carl Edwards and Dale Jr. Edwards just took the lead off turn 2 from Earnhardt again. So 60 and the 81 go back and forth for the lead. Truex is still running 29.5s. Earnhardt's running low 29.3s, though, at his fastest. So Truex definitely doesn't have the speed that he once did earlier in the race. Trying to pull away from the car behind him at least, putting less pressure on him for 7th. We'll go back to Dale Jr. this time by at the start-finish line. I'd have to imagine that field window is about open to the end of this race.
We'll take care of it, bud.
Dale Jr. getting a little loose. Checking out of the throttle. Kyle Busch right all over his back bumper. About an 0.8 of a second lead for Carl Edwards. Busch not quite able to drive to the inside of the 81 that time. Dale Jr. will hold on to 2nd and try to run down Edwards again. Cars on pit road. The window is open to make it on fuel to the end of the race with 62 laps left. David Chumler, thanks for tuning in.
Busch is all over your back bumper.
29.443. Still in the first half of the fuel and tire stint yet. The amount of cautions we've seen today, I don't think Dale Jr. is going to plan on short pitting. He pitted at lap 106. We've had, what, 3 cautions since then? Maybe 4? We've had 7 total, but we only had 3 before he pitted under green flag at lap 106. He could probably go till close to 20 to 30 laps to go in this race before he ends up having to make that final stop. Still wants that shot to get the most laps led. You can tell he's just slowly lurking in and closing on the 60 of Edwards, who leads the race. Quite a few different leaders in this one. A lot of comers and goers. Dale Jr., Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, Eric Crocker, Clint Boyer have all led laps in today's race. Only 143 laps in. Out of the 200, we may see some more leaders yet. Dale Jr., Carl Edwards battling for the lead into turns 1 and 2. Jr. with a run on the 60. Oh, he got tight. Had to lift off the exit of turn 2 to try and keep it off the wall. A little bit of clean air that time. Junior looking for the dive. Couldn't get underneath Edwards. Got the run on the backstretch. Edwards is mirror driving. Junior looking low. He squeezes to the inside. Little room for error. Almost clipped the apron, and now he's alongside Edwards. Edwards is in the wall! Oh, man! Edwards is in the wall hard a couple times on the front stretch, and Junior's in the lead. Edwards is still in the wall in 1 and 2. Kyle Busch is going to get the second. Junior never touched him. Side drafted him. Driver error from Carl Edwards. Junior's got a 1 second lead on Kyle Busch. With 54 laps to go, the Texas Motor Speedway. Halfway on fuel right now. 29.513. About halfway through the run for Dale Jr. Final time, alternate through the different camera angles today. Yeah, we definitely pressured him into the wall. Way too deep into the corner that time. Oh, we got another car in the wall. Front stretch has blown an engine. That's going to be a caution eventually here. Somebody's going to hit him. Car in the wall on the front stretch and was blowing up in smoke. Probably blew a tire, but we still remain green. At least for right now. If we do get a caution, it's going to trap everybody that's short pitted a lap down. Caution, there it is. I was wondering when it was going to happen. With 52 to go, we'll have our final stop under yellow. Oh, Martin Truex Jr. got launched into him. What happened there? A second wreck Truex has been involved in. I think he was slowing up and then just got hit from behind by Brian Vickers, which ricocheted him into the car that was already in the wall, and the 133 of Trigger gets collected. What a mess of a race this is. Oh my goodness. And now the final stop of the day. 4 tires, fuel. Who is going to win? Outsider, thanks for tuning in. Edwards didn't blow up. It was, he got the wall when we were battling for the lead, so he fell out of the top 2. Good news with being at the front of the field, we don't have to worry about being involved in any of the wrecks we've seen tonight. 8 cautions. Oh, Edwards going to win the race out of the pits. Junior's slow out of the box, and it looks like he's going to be in third. Well, this is going to be interesting. Less than 50 to go. Green flag back in the air at Texas. There were some cars that were on pit road when the caution came out, so they didn't have to pit during the yellow. That's why Dale Jr. is going to restart back in 10th. So green flag is back in the air. There were a couple lap cars on the inside of the lead lap cars as well. That was a perfect timing caution for those that were on pit road. And Brian Vickers, despite being involved in that last accident, is going to be the leader. Junior's got a fast race car. Definitely cars with damage in front of him. 48 laps to go. Just gotta hope we don't get too many more yellows, because again, he just does not take off on the restarts, and it takes him a few laps to get to the next car that restarts in front of him. Didn't give up any spots that time, though. I'm surprised we haven't seen a single debris caution all day. Well, I spoke too soon. Oh, we got debris flapping around everywhere. Oh my goodness, I saw it bouncing off of a couple race cars. And I think it was the hood off the 57 of Vickers who was in the lead. That's going to cost him a little bit of horsepower, you would think. Aerodynamics are not going to be strong in that 57. He continues to lead, though, without a hood to this next restart. Caution's out for the nighttime. Well, there's the first caution for debris today. And that's less laps for Dale Jr. to try to get to the front. Still got over 40 to go, though, on the restart. A lot of lap cars on the bottom. Green flag back in the air. Lap 157, 44 to go. 44 laps to go at Texas. I'm glad somebody hit that debris before Earnhardt, because Earnhardt was right in the tire tracks of it. That would have stunk to have blown her tire right there. Caution again, my goodness. More debris, I'd have to imagine, somewhere around the racetrack. Our 10th caution of the race now. Cautions breeding cautions late at Texas. It's the 133 car of Lance Trigger. He has lost his hood now. He was behind Earnhardt. I'm doing pretty good, Davey. Hopefully you are too. A lot of people seemingly enjoying this race. Be sure to hit that like button again. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. Green flag back in the air. 40 laps to go now at Texas for Brian Vickers in the 57. He's without a hood. So if he loses the lead, I think he's going to drop backwards. Surviving the restarts. Big block by Dale Jr. on Mark Martin into turns 1 and 2. Martin trying to get to the inside underneath the 81. He's been sleeping these last couple restarts. Back straightaway. Earnhardt squeezes the 9 of Martin. Martin's going to get underneath them, though, into 3 and 4. Caution again. My goodness, 11th of the race. More debris. And it's off Trigger again, as now the front bumper has completely fallen off the race car. Most cautions we've had in a Busch race this season was 15 at Watkins Glen, and we're slowly approaching that with our 11th caution of the day. Luckily, Dale Jr. was scored in front of Mark Martin when they went through the last timing loop when the caution came out. So he did not lose a spot on that restart, even though it was looking like he was about to. Green flag back in the air again. Jr. in 10th on the restart. Now we're down to 36 laps to go. He is running out of time the more we have cautions. Had 4 of them back to back to back. The wreck, and then 3 debris cautions following that big wreck. Kevin Carroll, thanks for tuning in. Martin again to the inside of the 81. Junior trying to hold on to it off turn 4 on the outside. He does. Just letting Martin go. He's going to give up that spot. Junior's ran up at the front all day. Caution trapped some cars a lap down, but obviously there were some cars that benefited from it. Junior only lost 2 spots in the pit, so instead of restarting 3rd, he restarted 10th, and now he lost a spot to Martin there. And it looks like Ryan Newman is the new leader at Texas. First time Newman has led today, getting around Vickers, who was without a hood and has heavy damage after being involved in the last accident we saw in this race off of turn 2. Contact with Martin. Martin's in the wall. That was all Earnhardt's fault. Look how spaced out the pack is right now. Somebody jacked things up on the restart. Oh yeah, there's some smoke off turn 4. That would explain it. Junior got back around Martin. Not the way he wanted to get around him, but got around him. He'll pass another car for 9th place in turns 1 and 2. Bobby Labonte to the lead for the first time today. He wrecked earlier in the race as well. I mean, there's been a lot of cars that have wrecked in this race. Well, Labonte is another one that has. He's out in front. Now Vickers back to the lead, and as the battling for the lead continues, Junior's closing in. Newman, who led just a couple laps ago, is back to about 6th already. Junior powers through 1 and 2 to the inside of the 138. Side drafts him on the backstretch. Has the run into 3. Gets pinched off a little bit, but slides clear for 8th. Lot of traffic in front. Major battling for the lead going on right now. One car scrapes the wall on the outside off of turn 4, and I believe it was Brian Vickers. Junior to the inside of John Hamilton on the front stretch. Bobby Labonte with a block, trying to get underneath the 57. Edwards led that last lap. He'll lose the bottom of the racetrack now, and I believe Michael Jourdain Jr. in the 10 car is going to look for the lead on the bottom of the track. Big block by Bobby Labonte. He was not clear. There was contact with Earnhardt. That got him tight. Into turn 1, almost got into Vickers in the 57. They all hold on to it. Edwards shuffled out of line on the outside. Yaley to the inside for second as Jourdain leads. Edwards losing spots. Newman underneath them now. Junior to the inside of Labonte for 5th. And he's got a run. He's all clear. Back straightaway. Carries the run into turn 3 on the inside of Edwards. Yaley up high. Newman to second. Junior underneath of Yaley for 3rd. Dale Jr. powering through the field right now. 29 laps to go at Texas. Dale Jr. up to P3. Newman with a block. Into 1 and 2. Edwards trying to follow the 81. Trying to get a spot back. Junior blocking Edwards back straightaway. Edwards overruns the corner. Earnhardt under Newman, clears him for second. 28 to go. Junior with a run on the front stretch. He'll be looking for the lead in turn 1. The two juniors side by side. What a run for Michael Jourdain Jr. today. Junior slides a bit wide, kept it off the wall, had to lift. The 10 goes down to try and side draft. Junior drives it in deep into the corner. Slide job, he's clear. Jourdain in the wall off turn 4, stacks up everybody on the outside. He's still in the wall. Newman to second, Edwards to 3rd. Not so much for Michael Jourdain Jr.'s heroic run in this race. Edwards slides into second, getting around the Rocket Man in turns 1 and 2. Well, John Hamilton, another fantasy driver, inside the top 3. He'll clear Newman. Newman going backwards all of a sudden. 26 to go at Texas, and will we stay green to the end? Junior's not been good on restarts today. Took him a little bit to get to the lead. Edwards with a run off turn 2. Junior with a block. Oh, both cars clipped the apron. They're both going up the track. He did keep it off the wall. .25 to go. Still ran a 29.5 that last lap. Edwards looking low again. Junior got in the wall that time. Pushing maybe a little too hard, and Edwards is going to take the lead. And Junior's going to have to find a way to get back around Edwards. 24 laps to go. Trying to make Edwards make a mistake. Bottom of the track, Edwards up the track, into the wall on the outside. He's still in the wall, and Junior's back out in front. John Hamilton's up to second now in the 120 car. And Edwards is going to fall all the way back to 4th and well over a second off the lead. 23 to go. Another lead change. Junior just trying to bring it home. Edwards still has speed, though. He has been one of the fastest cars in the field all day. He'll pass Newman for third again through 1 and 2. He's not done yet. If anybody has anything for the 81, it was either Edwards or Kenseth at the beginning of the race. Kenseth's nowhere near the front right now. Edwards really the only one towards the front of the Roush Fenway Fords that have a shot. He's got to get by John Hamilton, who's had a great day in second. He's had a great season. Top 10 in points for a fantasy driver in the Busch Series. He's also top 10 in points in the Truck Series. Not going to win the championship in either, but a great showing. 20 laps to go. Trouble in turns 1 and 2, but no caution. A lot of smoke that was laid down from the pack before. They're trying to wreck back in the pack again, but they haven't done it yet. Edwards under Hamilton on the back straightaway for second. Will have the advantage on the bottom into 3 and 4. Edwards, after hitting the wall just a few laps ago, is already back up to second after falling to fourth. And he is running faster laps than Dale Jr. at the front of the field, despite Jr. still running 29.4s. Jr. went way up the track that time. Edwards closes in quite a bit. We'll go back to the far chase cam, this time by at the start-finish line. Carl Edwards all over the back bumper of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Off turn 4, 17 laps to go. It's the Edwards and Earnhardt show once again, but this time in the Busch Series. Two of the fastest cars all day battling for the win. Major points implications on the line for Dale Jr. Haven't gotten word on whether or not he has clinched the most laps led yet. I would like to think he probably has, or is going to, by the end of this race. Even if he, say, didn't lead another lap the rest of the way. 29.375, he's still running some fast laps. Edwards is just a bit quicker right now. Everybody's made slight mistakes, it seems like, in this race, but Junior's probably made the least amount of them. Very minor, at least, of his mistakes. Edwards went way too far wide in 3 and 4 that time. Maybe trying something different to get a run off the exit of the corner and on the front stretch. Not enough of one to make a pass into 1 and 2. Wider arc into 1 and 2 that time. You can see the tire tracks up the track into turns 1 and 2 that were laid down from wherever in the field that smoke came from a handful of laps ago. $14 to go for Earnhardt. 14 pressure-packed laps. Edwards a bit lower off the exit of turn 2 that time. Junior not going to throw a major block right now on the backstretch. Edwards drives it in deep into 3, but can't get to the inside of the 81. Junior was fine with not throwing a block there. He knew Edwards had a run, but he knew he didn't have enough of a run to get to the inside. Junior carried just enough straightaway speed on the back, and he gapped him a little bit in 3 and 4. Really tight middle off right now in turns 1 and 2. If there's anywhere on the track Edwards is beating Junior on a consistent basis, it's off the exit of turn 2. Junior going to try a wider arc that time into 3 and 4. Oh, Edwards in the wall on the front stretch. He makes another mistake. He didn't stay connected to it, though, all the way into 1 and 2 like he did earlier, so... Lost a couple tenths that lap to Earnhardt. More breathing room. Mirror versus backflip. I like that. $11 laps to go. Newman's lost touch of the leaders right now. John Hamilton is not that far behind at third yet. Junior blocking Edwards this time. Edwards actually stuck and he clipped the apron going into the corner, but he didn't bobble at all. But he also couldn't get underneath the 81. 10 laps to go at Texas. Edwards a bit wide through 1 and 2. Junior pulls him. Nine to go at the line. Dale Jr. has not won on a mile and a half in the Busch Series this season. 29.345 that last lap, one of his fastest of the day. We want 29.411. Dropped off a little bit that last lap, but not too terrible. Wasn't really bad at all. Still a fast lap. Edwards is going to have to pass the car at the clean air at Texas. That's not going to be an easy task. Old Texas may be a little more doable than, say, New Texas, but still. Edwards in the wall off 4. Another mistake by the 60. He's still in the wall on the front stretch. John Hamilton will pass him for second, and Dale Jr. is about 1.1 seconds ahead. Edwards has fallen well outside the top 3. And Jr. can kind of take it easy now for these final 7 laps. He had mowed the wall down twice before, and that was strike 3, and Edwards is going to fall well outside of contention of winning this race. Unless we get a late caution. 6 laps to go, but if we get a caution late enough, it could end the race as well. Another 29.3, that last lap for Earnhardt. Clean day for Dale Jr. Stayed out of trouble. There was a lot of trouble around the racetrack today, but he wasn't in any of it. And he's got 5 more laps to pay dirt. And he is pulling away from John Hamilton. The only car that had a shot there in speed was Edwards, and pushed a little too hard. One car that's slowly catching John Hamilton right now in turns 3 and 4. They're going to battle. That's going to hold them up even more. The race is for second now. 4 to go. Caution comes out. The race should end at this point. Now that we have less than 5 laps to go. Junior would hope so, because he's not good on the restarts. About a tenth or two faster lap than second. John Hamilton trying to hang on still. He won at Darlington in the spring race there earlier in the season. Not going to get his second win of the year today. He's still trying to get a top 5 points finish, which is very well doable. Hiker Cruz, thanks for tuning in. 2 to go. At the line this time by. Dale Jr. will win his first mile and a half race of the season. And it'll be 14 consecutive races in which he has finished 13th or better. And 14 of the last 15. He's going to finish inside the top 10. And Clint Boyer flipped earlier in the day. Assuming this will be a max point state for Dale Earnhardt Jr. What a run for the 81. Anita Luna, thanks for tuning in. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go, no cautions on the final lap. 1.4 second lead. Not going to get the Texas sweep because Junior finished 5th in the Cup race, but Hornaday did win the truck race here as well, and Junior was the class of the field. Into 3 and 4, one final time. It's going to be the 12th Busch Series win of the season for Dale Jr. The hot streak continues, 2 races to go, and for the first time this year, he may be the points leader. Earnhardt wins at Texas. Clutch indeed for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Back-to-back wins now late in the season at Old Spice in Texas. 2 races in which Bowyer finishes outside the top 10 in both. And what a season collapse from the 2 of Bowyer. He was up in front of second place in points, over 300 points at one time. I don't know how he blew it, but he did. And he didn't even have to DNF in any of those races to blow it. Junior just had to go on this hot streak of finishing 14 out of 15 races in the top 10. He still hasn't DNF'd this year. It's not going to be easy. Finished 9th at Phoenix this season in the Busch Series. And he also has not raced at Homestead yet in any series. I haven't in this game. So these last 2 races are no gimmies by any means. But it's time to look at the finishing results. Earnhardt leads 102 of the 200 laps today. 1.4 seconds margin of victory. 2 hours, 16 minutes total time of today's race. 9 cautions for 27 caution laps. I was off. I thought we had 11. I miscounted there, so only 9 cautions. But still decent amount. 26 lead changes. 131.4 miles per hour is the average race speed. Earnhardt with the win. John Hamilton, great performance, finishing 2nd. Mark Martin 3rd. Carl Edwards, after getting into the wall with about 7 laps to go, battling for the lead, pushing a bit too hard, fell back to 4th after that happened. Led 27 laps today. And Matt Kenseth rounds out the top 5, also led 4 laps, the first 4 laps of the race from the pole. So 3 Roush Fenway Fords finish in the top 5, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Kyle Busch ends up leading 20 laps, finishing 6th. Martin Truex Jr., after flipping today, still got a top 10, finishing in 7th place. Solid run for him. Aaron Crocker fell back to 8th, led 6 laps towards the latter portion of the race. Newman led 1 lap, finishing 9th, and rounding out the top 10 was Casey Kane, who didn't lead a lap today. Tony Stewart ended up 11th, G.J. Yaley 12th. Seeing where Clint Bowyer finished, I think he may have DNF'd. He flipped. He was still in the race after he flipped, but I think he blew an engine. He did. Last place finish for Clint Bowyer. He was that driver that blew up at lap 114. 5 bonus points. He led 5 laps. But other than that, a last place finish for Clint Bowyer, his 3rd DNF of the year. That flip, if he didn't flip, I don't know that he would have blown an engine, but he flipped and then ended up blowing an engine, probably a couple laps later on the restart? Unbelievable. Brandon Miller, he also blew an engine today. Irvin blew an engine. 3 drivers failed to finish the race today, and 39 cars finished the race. Unbelievable. Dale Jr. is going to lead in points for the first time in the Busch Series season. It only took 33 of 35 races, but we're finally the points leader in the Busch Series. Unbelievable. We'll check out how big of a points lead he's got. He might have almost a 100-point lead on Bowyer. Still got to seal the deal these last 2 races. What a ride. Over 500 points out of first. After the 11th race of the year at Darlington, and this 22-race stretch has been unbelievable. 23-race stretch now, but still. I mentioned way back after that 11th race, if we're going to win the title, we have to go on the hottest streak imaginable, and boy, we have. I mean, I think we've had 11 wins in that stretch, too. We only had 1 win in the first 11 races. So, yeah, I mean, we've won 11 of our 12 races since race 12 at Richmond. in this hot streak. It's unbelievable. All right. 64-point lead. It's still tight. It's still tight. We were 87 back coming in. We scored almost the max amount of points versus Boyer possible because we led the most laps. We won. If Boyer didn't lead any laps in today's race, we would have outscored him by the most amount of points possible, with him finishing the last of that engine failure. John Hamilton, 377. Great season for him. He's up to third in points now after finishing second today. He didn't lead any laps, but can finish as high as third in the point standings. He's definitely got a shot to. It's only down to the top two. Everybody else from third on back is mathematically eliminated. J.J. Yaley, fourth in points. Our teammate, Martin Truex Jr., fifth. Unbelievable. Brandon Miller still inside the top 10 after DNFing today as well. And a 64-point lead. We control our own destiny now, though, with the points lead. Unbelievable. This is the crazy thing is, this is the series I was the least confident winning a championship like 10 races ago. Now with 2 races to go, I'm more confident I'll win this championship versus the other 2. That's insane. Just because I do have the points lead and I actually have the control. Phoenix, Homestead, all 3 series. That's all we've got left. That's going to be it for tonight's stream. I will not be able to live stream tomorrow night on the channel. Just giving you guys a fair warning. I've got a concert I'm going to tomorrow in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So traveling for that. I will be back home, though, that following day. And I will be live streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. And we will go NASCAR Busch Series Racing once again. So Busch Series race Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll run that Phoenix race. Like and subscribe, everybody, for more daily NASCAR content. Can't wait to see you guys then. Thanks for watching. What a race. Good night, everybody.